Hi guys, Luke here of SimBoxx. This is part 4 of our Road Warriors series, in which we're sharing the stories of journeyman boxers, guys that make up the numbers on shows up and down the country, jumping in last minute, maybe at weights that they're not naturally suited to save shows and fight in the next big boxing prospect. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Dale Arrowsmith. Dale, how are you doing?
I'm not bad, Luke. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks, mate. Thanks for joining us today. As I say, the role of a journeyman sometimes can be quite overlooked.
It can, yeah. I mean, it's boxing needs us, though, doesn't it? It's as simple as that. Without us, there's no boxing. So, well, maybe not at the moment, but
That's it. So Dale's a veteran of 42 fights. And let's get into the 10 questions, Dale. First and foremost, why did you choose to box on the road?
I'll be honest, Luke. I didn't initially choose to box on the road. I had a lot of amateur fights. Turned professional with Joe Pennington. And the initial plan was to be a prospect, sell tickets. I sold tickets for my debut. I think I did about 100 tickets, and it was just a ball ache chasing money to the last minute. And at the end of it all, I think I earned not a lot. Do you know what I mean? I was stood there at the end of it, like, all right. And then the week after, Joe phoned me. He said, "Listen, there's a fight down at York Hall on the Goodwin show." He said, "They'll give you 4 times what you earned in your debut, and you won't have to sell a single ticket." So I took the fight, went down, and it sort of just went from there. It's like no brainer, really.
Absolutely. So what's the biggest and best show you've boxed on?
The biggest show I boxed on was the first Ultimate Boxer. I boxed on the undercard, and it was at Manchester Arena. There hasn't been that one there since. I was lucky, really. And I boxed Ryan Oliver, who's one of my mates, but we didn't really want to fight each other. But in the end, because it was at Manchester Arena, we just agreed to box each other. One for the grandkids in it that would beat each other up at Manchester Arena when we were younger.
So was that one of those where you just put the friendship to the side before the fight, have the fight, and then friends afterwards?
Yeah, exactly. And me and Ryan are good mates now. Every time we see each other, always says to me, "I don't know how you took that body shot in the first round."
Has there ever been any other instances like that where you maybe have boxed somebody that you're kind of cool with or friends with?
Yeah, there's a few lads that I speak to that I've boxed, a fair few of them. But to be honest, it's one of them sports, and it's not very often you get someone, especially at this level, where you're actually aggressive with each other afterwards. I mean, there's no real build-up in small law boxing, is there? So it's not like there's press conferences. It's not like you've got to sell the fight. So
Yeah, fair point. Fair point. So as I say, 42 fights, 2 wins, a draw on there as well. But of all the opponents that you faced, who's the most skillful boxer, in your opinion, that you fought?
I'd say skill-wise, a couple of kids. There's a kid called Billy Pickles I boxed a few years ago. Very talented boxer. I think he boxed for GD. But I'd only had, I think that was my 4th or 5th pro fight. So I was inexperienced as well. In the last couple of years, I boxed a kid called George Davey from Henry Wharton's gym in York. He's a talented kid. Some of them, though, they're talented, but they're too nice. Do you know what I mean? They lack that bit of spite. Like George was catching me at points, and he'd hit me with 3 or 4 punches. I'd go to hit him, he'd be stood behind me near enough. I'm thinking, if you wanted to, you could probably knock me out now. But it's just too nice. And I'm thinking, you should just be a bit more spiteful sometimes. I'm sat here asking someone to hurt me, basically.
Is that some sort of advice that you'd pass on after the fight? Have you ever said to somebody you had the opportunity there, or is that something that you just think in your own head and keep to yourself?
No, but it is something I'd speak to. Like Henry asked me, is there anything he could improve on? And I've spoke to Henry about it. So yeah, I will do happily.
So again, you've fought 42 times. There's 39 losses on your record. Is there anybody that you fought and there was hyped up as the next big thing, and you just thought, I don't believe the hype? Is there anybody that's been overhyped as an opponent?
I wouldn't say they're overhyped, overrated. Because obviously everyone's going to have a bad day now and again, aren't they? Like I might box someone who destroys someone else in a round, and then I'm thinking, what's he doing? He's not really done much. But I would say there's a lot of kids I've been in with where they're meant to be good, and I've had an easy night. Won't mention names, but yeah.
Fair point. So who's your biggest motivation in boxing, Dale? What keeps you going? What keeps the fire burning?
Money's the motivation now, realistically. Always has been. Like, I still enjoy fighting. I really enjoy fighting. I don't enjoy training so much after 15 years, but I still enjoy fighting. And to be honest, as well, Luke, that's my social life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't go out, I don't drink. It's one of them. So that's why I'm missing it, because when you're on the road, you're with all the lads. That is your social life. So.
You know, when I've worked some of the small horse shows and I've been ringside reporting, that's one of the things that I really enjoy seeing, like the camaraderie between away fighters. You know, you have your prospects and your ticket sellers, and they have all their fans and the family and whatever else. But guys like yourself, Curtis Cagano, Jamie Quinn, I've been at ringside when these guys have turned up, Mikey Horrobin, and they're all having a buzz between themselves and not necessarily like fussed about, as you say, there's no pressure, there's no ticket sales, there's no expectations.
Plus, most of us see each other week in, week out, don't we? So we become good mates. Like, I'm good mates with Quinny, I manage Mikey, and then I'm mates with Poochie. I'm mates with them all, do you know what I mean? And we see each other most weeks, so.
Fantastic. Of everything you've achieved in your career, be it personally or professionally as an amateur, what do you believe is your biggest achievement so far?
I mean, I was very lucky as an amateur. My granddad, he ran the club and he took us all over the world. I travelled, I boxed in Cuba, I boxed in Denmark, Poland, everywhere. However, I'd say my biggest achievement in boxing wasn't actually boxing, it's getting my manager's license. Because granddad's old now, he's had the gym 40 years. Me and my brother took it over in 2017. So I got my manager's license in 2018 and I manage myself and 4 other pros now. So it's just setting up for the future. So I don't have to get pumped forever, Luke. That's fine.
So in terms of the 4 guys that you're managing at the minute, are those guys all on the road, or have you got a couple of prospects?
No, so I've got Michael Orobin, he's on the road. I've got a couple more who are going to be on the road. And then I've got Davey Fiore, the big heavyweight. So he's going to sell tickets. And I've got Chris Healy, which I imagine a lot of you have seen box. To be fair, Chris was a prospect. And then he had a car crash, he had a back injury, and he had a few years out. And he came back and he said, I want to earn some money. So he's gone on the road. But Chris is one of them, like most of us, we'll fight week in, week out. Whereas Chris, he has got a winning record, and every fight he has, he's beating prospects or he's testing them. So it's good to watch. Like, and he was in Ultimate Boxer, the heavyweight one, not last year.
Yeah, I thought I recognised his name, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's good, Chris.
Is there anybody that you wouldn't fight on the road where you just think that's not for me? Maybe a big puncher or somebody that you know is a slippery operator, maybe gives you a tough night's work, a frustrating night's work. Is there anybody you just thought that's not for me?
I'll be honest with you. Before I managed myself and other lads, I was one of them where Joe Penn had offered me a fight and I'd go, yeah, I'd just box anyone. Like most lads on the road will. But now I've got my manager's license, I'm picking and choosing fights for my lads, do you know what I mean? So now I'm like, realistically, health is wealth, isn't it? It's one of them where, unless the money is good, I'm a bit like, is it really worth taking a beating for 4 rounds for that kind of money? Plus, the thing is, right, I manage myself, yes. However, my brother's still my coach. And at the end of the day, I will still, every fight that I take, I'll still go to him, what do you think of this, before I take it. I'm not just stupid enough to take fights and without him watching them first. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I turned down Troy Williamson a couple of years ago. It was on 2 days' notice. They offered me Troy. It was okay money, but not enough. Do you know what I mean? Not enough for me to do an 8-rounder at 2 days' notice. And I think he boxed Ben Douglas at light heavy. He stopped him in like 2-3 rounds. I was glad I didn't take it.
Yeah. Superb. So, Dale, if you could box anybody and just test your skills, win, lose, or draw, as a dream opponent, who would you most like to share the ring with?
Do you know what? If the money was right, I'd get him with anyone, Luke. I genuinely would. I would. If the money was right, then I'd get him with Mayweather tomorrow if they offered me a couple of million. That's my retirement money, isn't it? But it's not so much that for me. For me, it's like dream venues. There's still a few venues that I want to tick off my list. So if there's anything going at the O2 this year, Eddie, then you know where I am. the O2, Wembley, stuff like that. I just want to tick them off. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to join the 100 club. So I'm 100 and out, I think. I want to have 100 fights and then I'm done.
That's some goal to set, Dale. Final question is there any pre-fight superstitions or rituals that you follow?
Yeah, it's usually like KFC, me and my brother. I'm only joking. No, do you know what? I've always had one. I always time. I tie my left boot first. My left glove goes on first. My left hand gets bandaged first every time, no matter what.
So, has there ever been a time when you've not followed that ritual, or that somebody's just started lacing up like your right glove and you thought no, it's wrong? Or is it been every single time throughout your career?
Yeah, no, there has been times where Louis not been able to come near my corner and someone else has. I've been like, no, you're going to have to take that glove back off and put the other one back on. But yeah.
Brilliant. Dale, it's superb to catch up. It's good to get a little insight into the mind of an away fighter. Thanks for your time. So is there anything you'd like to add to finish?
No, thanks, Luke. Nice one.